Hey, we have a big and possibly important story for you here at MRC TV. On May 1st, a group of American landlords combined forces with the Pacific Legal Foundation to reclaim their right to actually keep their own property safe. And guess who doesn't like that? Yeah, you got it, the government. As Reason's Christian Britschke reports, a group of property owners is suing the city of Seattle, Washington because of the government's so-called Fair Chance Housing Ordinance that they passed in 2017. Yes, this euphemistically titled mandate prohibits property owners from actually checking out the criminal records of people who want to rent from them or who are renting from them.
The Rental Housing Association is fighting an ordinance that bans landlords from ever asking about criminal history.
What landlords are concerned about is repeated, continuous, dangerous activity that presents a legitimate harm to our buildings, our other tenants.
Can you imagine? These are possibly violent criminals, and the landlords who have liability concerns can't check them out. Now, this is actually based on a really bad idea from the federal level about housing discrimination, but it makes it even worse. Violators of this political diktat out of Seattle, Washington, could be required to possibly pay outcast or denied renters some form of damages. Yes, that's right. That's simply for saying no, for not giving them something. They didn't take anything from somebody. They might also have to provide rent credits to people or reinstate tenancy to people that they know are violent criminals. Plus, there's the possibility that these mentally deranged landlords might have to go to re-education camp thanks to the city of Seattle.
We're allowing landlords to basically exercise an extrajudicial punishment against renters.
The fact that Seattle's arrest records might be seen by some people as racially biased, the landlords have nothing to do with that. How are they going to control that? How do they have anything to do with racism if they're just checking criminal records? It makes no sense at all. And you know what else doesn't make any sense? Is the fact that if they don't conform to these dictates, then they could be, yeah, you got it, fined. Get a little money for Seattle. First offenders could be fined $11,000. People who violate this ordinance 2 times in 5 years could be fined $27.5 thousand. And if you're a landlord and you violate this more than twice within 7 years, you could be fined $55,000. Ka-ching! All right, you win the jackpot. Can you imagine anybody with a property actually thinking seriously about getting into the rental property business in Seattle?
Landlords say they feel demonized by the Seattle City Council.
Anybody who is offering something that involves wealth or value is bad.
It's no wonder they have a lack of affordable housing there. And in fact, the amazing irony that caps all of this off is that the city actually recognizes that they have a lack of affordable housing. And how are they fixing it? That's right, they're proposing a new business tax to get money to put into building more affordable housing. It just makes you want to scream. It's totally bizarre. And you know, there's more than just the economics of this. The fact that it adds disincentives to people, so there's going to be a dearth of affordable housing, which the government will then take money to try to fix. There's the principle of this, which is about private property. As law professor Richard Epstein has written numerous times, what is going on in Seattle is what is called a regulatory taking. And this is an instance where politicians don't own the property, but they will tell people how to run their own private property. So it's no longer private property. And if you don't have a concept of ownership of private property that you own in order to support yourself, then you also don't have a concept of ownership of yourself.
My family owned 3 apartment buildings in the city of Seattle. My family has sold them all in the last year and a half.
You're not a slave, but the politicians think that you can be treated as such. So this is a very, very important case. It's not just important for the fact that economic principles are being violated, for the fact that the politicians are missing the entire irony of the whole thing, but it's important to learn this essential ethical, historical principle about property ownership and the ownership of oneself. It's being completely violated by all these types of mandates and, as Epstein would say, regulatory takings. Pacific Legal Foundation is on the case. These landlords are fighting it very hard, and we'll keep track of this story as well, because we recognize the lessons even when the politicians don't. And thank you for recognizing us here at MRC TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and spread the word about us. We'd love more people to check out the material that we're creating. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.